All right. My name is Seyeon Hwang, and I will be interviewing you today on May 21st, 2018, at World Relief Jacksonville in Jacksonville, Florida. Can you please tell us your name and also spell it out for us?
Okay. Yeah. I go by my last name. It's Emi. Yeah.
And your first name is?
Irene. Yeah. Oh, I have to spell?
It would be helpful if you...
Okay. Irene. That is my first name. And Emi is my last name.
All right. So how we're going to start the interview is I would like you to pick 3 cards from these topics. And you can really start talking about the chosen topics.
Okay. Yeah, I may love to talk about community. And then, I don't know, community, and then what? Maybe US or Jacksonville is the same. I think that's Jacksonville or in my work. Yeah.
Okay. So, would you like to start telling us about community, or you can start over there?
Yeah. Okay. The community here. You know, like we, our people, our community would like to gather a lot, and so because I think it's because a lot of our community don't speak English, and so they don't go to other community, and also, as I said, like the Chin community, they don't go to other community also. So usually, here, as soon as we arrive here, like people started to, especially as a Christian, like they first thing like our community will look for it is, where do we go to church? So they will go to church, like, and they would form, our community would form the church, and they go, and then once a week they will see each other, and I don't know what else to say. A lot of things, because they need help, like if they want to go to the hospital, then also because they don't speak the language, so they would look for the people in the community who can translate for them, and so the first thing, whatever they do, this community is very important. It plays a very important role. So and
Do you think you can also tell us about your community back in your hometown, back in Chin State?
Yeah, I was young, so I was young. We're the same, because we don't have to worry, because everybody speaks the same language. And still, we go to church every Sunday, so that what we have been doing there, we want to do here again. So that is the reason, like the community will try to find the church where like everybody can gather and speak the same language, and so they know what is going on.
So what your community is doing, pretty much what your community is doing here, is something that you guys have been practicing back in your
yes,
country too.
yes.
Okay. Can you tell us more about what you would do, what your community would do back in your country?
Yeah, like the youth will have their youth service, especially, I think the Christianity plays a big role because, I think because of the Christian, they go to church on every Sunday, and also even on Sunday it's like combining. So like after Sunday, like the youth wants to be youth alone, and then again the women group will be doing another thing. So again the youth group will meet on once a week. I don't know when, maybe Saturday night, Friday night, like that. And they're only when we meet each other. Even the women group also, like in the meeting we talk about whatever problems or whatever need. Then and they find solution. We find solution what to do. And
How did the community in your home country influence you in deciding to leave the country and go to India?
It was 1988. It was 1988. Before, starting from 1961, like the military take over the country, and it was the military rule starting from 1962 actually, and from there, because of a lot of repression, the student, the college student, the university student, there are a lot of uprising there, and they protest, and so in 1988, they protest on the road, and the military will come on the way, and they shoot around the people and also catch the student and put them to jail. So a lot of people were arrested, a lot of people were missing. So because of that, and also not only that, there are a lot of porter, like people has to come and work on the road, like they do the labor work. I always say they, actually we. We have to do those. They will take whoever on the way. They will ask to carry their ration or weapon, or sometimes road construction. They would ask the people. So it's a chaos. So and people have to live in here, fear all the time, and even at night also they would say curfew, like nobody is allowed to go outside the house many times, and sometimes they would say come out of the house and bring with any weapon that you have, to scare the people all the time, and everybody is subjected to anything. So it's not safe, and they shut down all the school, all the colleges, and so we don't have any future. So we left the country. A lot of people leave. Okay.
Can you tell us about your journey after deciding to leave the country?
Yeah, I left, and because my hometown is not that far from from the border, so we walk with my friends, and then we arrived there. As I said, the northeastern part of Mizoram, India, is called Mizoram State. There is the people, those who live there, are pretty much like us, and then we understand our language, each other, even though it's not the same language, but we can say different dialect. So, but we understand each other. You speak that language, I understand. I speak my language, they understand. Yeah, that kind of thing. So, yeah, there. As I said, there are a lot of people also already there. I left in 1989. The students' uprising was 1988. So a lot of people were there already. So yeah.
So you crossed the border, and did you live in Mizoram State?
Yeah, Mizoram State. Yes. There I arrived, and then I had to work, and with my friends, I worked as a weaver. Yeah, I weave, and then I earn money, and then later, then I also study. I went to study Bible. I went to Bible college, and then later, because the UNHCR office is not in that northeastern part of India, we have to go to New Delhi, the capital city of India. So we went there and apply for UNHCR. Yeah, it took so long.
Why did you think that you should go and contact UNHCR? What was the goal?
Yeah, because anyhow we can go back to Burma, and we are not legal in India anywhere, not only Mizoram. And also, because a lot of people coming in Mizoram State, in India, a lot of people from Burma, they came there because the situation in the country is very unstable. So a lot of people keep coming. So they have also a lot of concern, like if they cannot get a job, then they would blame it's because of the people coming. So and also there were a lot of that's why they would like to stop people to come inside. Not only that, sometimes they send the people back to Burma, and if they send the people back to Burma, then like some people we know that they were in jail. Some people never come back out of jail, and we don't know, prison. And so, it's life-threatening, so, yeah.
So, what did you expect from UNHCR? Did you know about resettlement? So did you want to go and be resettled?
We know there is resettlement also, but we did not expect, because it was like a story. It was like a story for us. Like resettlement program is like a tale. I don't know. I won't expect. I didn't expect at that time when I applied, and it was very, very difficult process, very, very long process, and I don't expect that I can I would be accepted, even though we know that, we are refugee for ourselves. But then the UNHCR, we don't know they will give us or not. So when I apply, I was not thinking about the resettlement. I was only thinking about I have to be accepted, and I should have some kind of document to be able to stay there. Yeah.
So you went to New Delhi with, was it with your friend, or was it with your whole family?
At the time I was alone, but yeah, of course there were a lot of friends. I didn't go with my friend, but then yeah, there are a lot of people. As I said, I knew them already. Yeah.
So can you tell us about your life in New Delhi?
Yeah. Oh, life in New Delhi. A lot of things. Which one to say?
We're ready to hear everything.
A lot of things. Yeah, I was in New Delhi, and at that time I already speak English at that time. So yeah, I worked at the implementing partner of UNHCR, which is the name is called Don Bosco, and I rent the house, the apartment, very very small apartment, and it was very small, and yeah, the local Indian, there are a lot. Oh, Delhi is, yeah, you may not want to live in Delhi. A lot of discrimination, it's too much discrimination. You walk out of the door, you expect to hear a lot of I don't know even what to say. The hatred, a lot of different words. Yeah. They call us Nepali, Nepali. I don't know at the time why they keep calling. I know that is which is not that word is not like good word. I didn't even know at the time what was it, but then I learned from other people that it was like they say we look like Nepal, and they think Nepali are a lot of Nepali came to India, and they I don't know if it could be true or not, but they say it's prostitute. So that is the word they would throw whenever we go, we work, and it was like every day, at least 5 or 6 times a day. Yeah, on the way, and also like the landlord, it's horrible. The landlord, not a lot of things. That's why I don't know.
Can you give us an example?
Yeah, because I also work at that UNHCR implementing partner. So in that kind of organization I work. So whenever people have a problem, also they would come to us. Yeah, so it's very, very difficult. Yeah. Sometimes they throw. Sometimes suddenly they will raise the rent. They will raise the rent, and then, of course, the refugee has difficult to pay. You know, they work and they get only little money, and that time, and they will throw their belonging, and so. Yeah, and whenever we have problem with anybody in the local, the problem is like you had a problem with one local, and they won't listen what is going on, but they would just jump and everybody would come. And physically abuse, like beat at you or throw stone at you, like that. So even if you're not happy, you will be okay. Even if they shout at you, okay, what you can say. So yeah. Like sometimes they, like one person, 50 people. You know, there are a lot of population. The people, so many people. You look at the road, and at least 20, 30 people will be there all the time. And you have a problem with one person, and the whole people will come in without listening anything. They would jump onto you. They beat you. Yeah. So yeah. We from there we keep telling to the UNHCR, we can live here, send us somewhere else. So, and it was a very long process, and those who are lucky can only get out of that place. Yeah.
Can you tell us how you decided to apply for resettlement and how the process was?
Yeah, it's, as I said, in the beginning, we don't think about resettlement because it is like in the air. We don't know it will happen, but then experiencing a lot of difficulties with the local because there was no refugee camp like other in New Delhi. It is in the city area, but you have to live with them. And we look at the place like the cheapest room that you can rent, and the UNHCR like give some money, like $30 for a month. So, but with the exchange rate, it is very less to live with. But like everybody contribute and live together. That's how we pay, and it was very, very difficult situation. That's why at last a lot of people, the community, we decided we have to ask from UNHCR to send us to a different country. So yeah, and we had to protest and ask, a lot of things. And yeah, it takes so long. We don't even know, like they always say, we're working on it. We don't know, but then when we get called, then only we go there and do the interview, and then so many steps. Yeah.
So do you remember the year that you applied for it and the year that you were granted?
I think 10 years before I actually come here, I think.
So it took 10 years.
Yes.
And you said that you spent about 10 years in India. So throughout your stay in India, you were waiting.
Actually, yeah, that's why in India, Mizoram, maybe 5 years. So together, I think around 15 years. Yeah. Yeah.
What the resettlement process, sorry, I'm just trying to process what.
Okay. Yes, I understand. Even it was difficult to say. We had to have like the police clearance. We need to have the police clearance, and also medical checkup. Which, if we were chosen, then we have to do the interview, and then so we have to get the police clearance, and then medical checkup. Even all those things, after we know that we have to go, it may take like 1 or 2 years. Yeah, yeah.
But then it eventually took 10 years for you.
Yeah, 10 years for us, for them. How many years for them to decide that they will let us go?
So did you always want to come to the United States, or did you have?
No, I don't have any specific place, but hoping that any place would be better than India. So any place that they say they accept refugee, then yeah, I don't choose U.S.
How do you think your being a single woman and a refugee influenced your experience in Mizoram or Delhi or New Delhi?
What kind of influence?
Were there any treatments or any incidents you had to go through because you were a single woman and a refugee?
How would I influence? Yeah. Maybe my nature, or like maybe a God-given gift, I would say. Like when I see the problem, I don't run out, I don't run away, but when I see the problem, I look at the problem carefully, and then I look for the solution. How would I solve this problem? So yeah, whenever I see the problem like that, so the last time also, like when there was protest in New Delhi, a lot of women, they were put into prison, and so a lot of so it looked, because they were protests, like everybody started to scare, but then I like, no, we can't live like that. So we have to look solution. How would we take them out? So yeah, I talked to different lawyers, and also I talk to the people, the organization that I work with, and actually I work with Qing Women Organization also, and that Qing Women Organization, some like we help violence against women. So like our donor also, I inform them and ask help So yeah, somehow everybody helped us, so I can go and get the lawyer, and so we can bail out how many women, I think. Yeah, we have to pay a lot of money, but we got it, we received it, and yeah, like that. Mm-hmm. And back in Mizoram also, once they send the people back to Burma. At the time, there were a lot of the refugees were taken by the police, and then at that time, everywhere, they announced with the loudspeaker, because it started. Actually, there was rape case, minor, I think, the minor girl, the influential, I don't know how it come, but the influential person, the daughter was raped, and they say it was the person from Burma. He raped that girl. So starting from that time, they say that we are going to send all those Burmese who live there. So there were a lot of announcements in every places, like loudspeaker in any location, we are going to send back. And so the police car with a big car everywhere, they see anywhere, they throw them. So at the time also, I was like, we can stay like this. So I talked, at the time I was also a secretary of Chin Women Organization, and with my president, we went to talk to one of the politicians, and then everybody is scared. They don't dare to stay even in their home, because this group of people, along with the police, they go door to door. They knock every house, and then they throw away all their belongings, and then they put inside the car, and then they send them back. Some people, they beat them up. So yeah, so we went and talked to this politician, one of the politicians. It's called Zorro. This political party it's not a big, but it's small, because this political party thinks Zorro, they think that we, the Chin, the Chin community is not only from Chin state of Burma, but also Mizoram state, where we can understand the language. We are all the same. They are in Chin state, and also in Mizoram state, and also Manipur, India, and even in Burma also, not only in Chin state. Yes, there are Kalay, Kabos. Yeah, there are so many places. We are one. We have to form one country ourselves. That's what they believe. And so we went and talked to that person, the general secretary, and he is a rich guy, though. He has a very big car workshop. He had it, and 1,000 people can stay there. So because the people are scared to stay in their home, they were all over places. So he gave us some space, that his workshop. So I informed the community, anybody who would like to stay in that place are welcome to stay. So a lot of people came stay there. and they were safe for some time. But then later, though, the police car came, and like we were scared. I talked to this guy and again, and then he said, it's their duty. They will just take from the car with the police car, but then they can get down on the way if they want to. And because we insist, if they go back to Burma, it is like committing suicide, so we don't want them to go back to Burma. And so he can talk to them, and so he let us know that they can get out on the way. So they get off on the way. So yeah, somehow, like because when there is a problem, I don't try to run away from the problem, but yeah, I try to solve the problem, and yeah, I think that would be my survival. Yeah, the means of survival. Yeah.
So, after spending the time in India, you're eventually resettled in Jacksonville. Did you come directly to Jacksonville?
Yeah. I got married there in Delhi, and then yes, I came with my husband.
So
yeah.
It's been a while since you got to Jacksonville.
That's true.
You've lived there, right? Just
yes.
The past 8 years or so. So tell us about your experience in Jacksonville. What do you think of the city?
Yeah. When I first arrived, it wasn't, scary. Because at the time, 2010, there was no job. At the time, there was no job, and so the people who came like a year before us, they were all sitting at home. There was no job, and so at the time we felt like homesick. We felt homesick. Not only that, it's very new, and everything is like very big, and everybody is driving a car, and we are like, the good thing though is we were in the apartment complex. So like, even though I feel like very lonely, even though I feel very lonely, but there are a lot of people like me are there. So as I said, so I call everybody my home. We used to sit together. Everybody will be in my home, and even though we feel like, how am I going to survive, even for myself, So because I feel that way, I know other people will feel the same. So I talk about this, and everybody talk about that, and we all talk about it, and sometimes we laugh, and sometimes what we are supposed to do. Our life ended here, in the beginning like that, because everybody's driving a car. How am I supposed to have a car? We are stuck in there. But then later somehow, even though in the beginning everybody take the job that is opening for them, whatever job come, we just grab and then work hard and then earn, and then so from there we buy car, and then even after we buy car, we learn to drive so hard, and then later, okay, let's say we now we got the car, but how am I going to drive? We don't know how to drive a car. Not only that, we don't know the city properly. How are we going to live? But then, yes, time passed by. We started to drive a car, and we have GPS. Now everybody can go anywhere they want. So yeah, it's a big change. Yeah, it's a big change. And the most important thing is like here, safety is the first thing that we enjoy. Yeah. And the second thing is like here, according to the law, the Constitution and the law protect everybody from being discriminated, so yeah. So this is the second thing that we enjoy. There will still be there, but then, compared to the past, like every day. So, yeah.
How long did it take for you and the people in your community to get a job right around the time that you arrived here? Because there was the economy crashed, so there was certainly the economy was slow. So how long did it take for you guys to start working, and how did you overcome difficult times?
Yeah. It takes, it's not the same for everybody, but let's say it will take around a year, I think. But yeah, for me, after 4 months of I arrived here, because I don't have anything to do, we don't have anything to do, so and the people who came earlier than us, and those who live in the apartment complex, a lot of them don't speak English. So when they go to the doctor's appointment and they need somebody to help to translate them, so I went there, and wherever they go, I was there everywhere. So that's why the staff here, they used to tell our former director, Mrs. P, they insist, I don't know. And then she called me and she said, I hear that you are helping a lot to your community, so yeah, and I need a person. So do you interest in working here? So I said yes. So after 4 months, I got a job here. I started my job as RMP assistant, and then they keep asking me, when are you going to get a car? Actually, I didn't think I need to have a car in the beginning because it was so close. But then the job require, I have to take some people to their appointment. So yeah, somehow I bought a car after 4 or 5 months. Yeah, 5 months of my arrival. And it was so funny when I get a car. As I told you, there were new people, a lot of new people live in one apartment complex. So we didn't have a car. We used to walk. And I think among us, I was the first person to buy a car. Yeah. I paid $4,000, and some people helped me also to buy that car. And when they teach me how to drive, and then when I start driving, 4 or 5 people we used to sit, and then please check that way, please check that way. Is the car coming from the back? Everybody is like GPS. Yeah, everybody still now, they used to talk about that. When I start driving, a lot of the people behind me, they become GPS. And if they look if the cars are coming or not. And at the time I don't know I don't know, even though I read the rules, but when you drive, in reality, it's not, it was difficult. I don't know the road, and it was so difficult, and I don't know the way, the road, and the rules properly, but then I have to drive. Yeah, so that's way I can overcome obstacle in that way, like anybody, I think. Everybody, yeah. So.
Did you have any goals when you came to Jacksonville? Did you have any goals for your life in
Yeah. As soon as we come here, our case manager also, they ask us what would be your goal, and I tell them that I want to be a social worker, and I keep telling them, and I'm working as social work anyway, and I want to keep doing that. Yeah.
Why did you want to become a social worker? Do you think that has something with your experiences?
I think so. Yeah. Being a refugee myself, I know the difficulties, and working here, I know where to go when you need what, like that, and people need guidance in that area. So yeah, I think.
Yeah, let's talk more about Southside, and because Southside is obviously where you're living.
Yes.
What is your thought? What do you think of Southside?
Southside, yeah. From the time that I come, I live around here, so this is my home now. So yeah, I think I like it.
You like it?
I like it. Yeah.
What do you like? What would be 3 things that you like the most about Southside?
Number 1, I'm so much familiar with the place. I'm so familiar with the place. That will be my number 1. And number 2, even though there were crime will be there, but then I enjoy living with my neighbors, and I have very good I have very good connection with my neighbors, and so yeah, I like it. And wherever you want to go is close from your home, so yeah, from this place.
Would there be anything that you would want Southside to have, so that you have a better life here?
Yeah, one thing is, as I said, there are criminal activities still around here. Like robbery. A lot of my client also, they were robbed in gas stations and on bus stations and like that, and prostitution. Yeah.
So you would want that to be addressed?
Change. Yeah.
Have you spoken to the police, or do you know any communications that's taking place among the refugee communities, or just the communities in Southside with the city or police?
Oh, I don't know, but each time whenever things happen, if I know, I call the police though. But yeah, other than that, I don't communicate in that area. Yeah.
Do you think you'll keep living in Jacksonville?
Yeah, I like this place. I like this place. Even though we don't know what to say about our future, I don't know about my future, but right now, I'm happy here. Yeah.
Do you have a particular story or an anecdote that you have about that will explain to us about your being a refugee in Jacksonville? That, like a story that you want to share with us, aside from that that getting the driver. Another driving thing. One day one day I drive, and that time the police stopped me, and at the time there was the newly arrived refugee. I went to pick them up to have dinner in my house, so I picked them up, and we were a lot of people in my car, and the police stops me, and at the time also I didn't really know that was the police chasing me. You know, I keep driving, and then at last, maybe they are chasing me. So I stopped my car, and then the police came, and the police came, and I was so nervous. I don't know what to say at that time. And then the police, they asked me, "You didn't turn on your light." And I said, okay, turn on your light. You know, that time I just started driving, so you know I am not very familiar with even the light also, but then somehow I know that one, so I turned on that light, and then he said, okay, next time when I call you, when the police came behind you, then you have to pull over. And I said, okay, you shouldn't be driving so far like that, you know. I said, okay. And then he gave me iron, 3 iron. Actually, there was the 3 iron he gave me, and I said, okay, thank you. And then he left. And then the 3 iron he gave me, so I was like, what is this iron? Oh, maybe he gave me ticket. This is the ticket. I thought it was the ticket. So I call my friend who has been here for longer than me, and the police give me an iron. Oh, the ticket. I got the ticket, and he said, what? What kind of ticket? What did it say? And I said, the 3 iron. And then, like, what? He came to me, and then he looked at it, and then he said, no, this is like, that day I left my key in the car, and that particular friend, he opened the door and then get the key for me, and he left my iron, it's thin, kind of like this, and he left on my car. And the police, when he talked to me, I think he got that one and he gave me. That was so funny. People keep talking about it. Do you So you said that there's a lot of community gatherings. Do you also go? Does your community also go out to a park?
Yes, we used to go out to park, and sometimes I invited the American friends and to show us like what you cook, and the cooking like. And also sometimes like this also. Actually, this is our national bird. Yeah, hornbill, the Chin national birds. She taught us how to embroidery, and also I gave her like, if you can teach us this one, and she print out, and then she asked us to draw, and then we drew, and then make it yourself, however you want. So we make by ourselves like this, but she guide us. And even though we draw the same hornbill, it comes out sometimes. It's some people make like a rat. So yeah, we together sometimes like that. Yeah, we make all together. We meet. Yeah.
I think that's it for the interview. Thank you so much for doing the interview today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Do you have any questions for us?
I don't think so. I don't think so.